Most YouTubers dream of getting so big they can quit their job. Luke Nichols got so big he had to quit YouTube. That is not usually how the creator economy fairy tale goes. Imagine building something so good that millions of people watch it every single day. Not just watch it, love it, show it to their kids, put it on in the background when life feels like too much, come back to it again and again, year after year. Now, imagine deciding that the smartest move you can make with that thing is to stop. That is the story of Outdoor Boys, and it is one of the strangest, most human stories the creator economy has ever produced. Luke Nichols reached around 15 million subscribers and then posted one last video, said goodbye, and walked away. Not because the channel was dying, not because he ran out of ideas, not because he got canceled or had some dramatic meltdown we're all going to dig up later. He walked away because it worked too well. That is a sentence you almost never get to say about anything. Let's go back to the beginning, because the beginning is genuinely funny. Luke Nichols was not some kid fresh out of college with a ring light and a content strategy. He was a former criminal defense and immigration attorney, a lawyer, a guy who spent years in courtrooms arguing cases. And then somewhere along the way, he decided he would rather be in the woods. He started in May 2015, just a dad, his boys, and a camera. Camping trips, fishing, survival challenges, cooking over a fire, finding fossils, magnet fishing, doing exactly what the channel description promises, whatever we darn well feel like. This was not a Silicon Valley startup. No pitch deck, no venture capital guy in a vest saying they were disrupting the outdoor content space. Just a dad named Luke, his sons Tom, Nate, and Jacob, and a campfire, and a shocking number of people who apparently could not stop watching someone cook in the snow. For a while, it was just a passion project, one of millions of quiet little channels on YouTube, not really built to be a business. But then something shifted. Here is what Outdoor Boys built quietly and steadily over the better part of a decade. The content was family-friendly. That sounds like a limitation. It is actually a superpower. Family-friendly content can go almost anywhere. Parents put it on for their kids. Kids find it themselves. Adults watch it alone because it's calming. Grandparents can sit next to a 10-year-old and watch the same video without anyone being uncomfortable. Most channels pick a lane, edgy or educational, or extreme. Outdoor Boys managed to be all of those things without ever feeling like too much. The format was also built for evergreen content, creator economy language for videos that do not expire. A winter camping video does not go stale because of a news cycle. A survival challenge filmed in 2019 is just as watchable today. The campfire cooking videos work forever. That is genuinely important for a YouTube business, because YouTube's algorithm is constantly looking for good content to recommend. Not just new content, but good content. A strong back catalog of evergreen videos keeps getting discovered, keeps getting watched, keeps generating views long after the creator has moved on. Outdoor Boys had over 1,000 of those videos. 1,000. That is not a YouTube channel. That is a library. Now, let's talk money, because this is money lore. A channel the size of Outdoor Boys is not a hobby. It is a media asset, and it earns in several ways at once. YouTube ads, the platform pays creators based on views and what advertisers will pay for that specific audience. Outdoor content, family content, survival content. These attract advertisers in gear, food, travel, parenting, and insurance. Those categories pay reasonably well. Then there are direct brand deals, sponsorships, companies paying a creator to feature their product. For a channel with around 15 million subscribers and a deeply loyal audience, those deals can be significant. Camping gear companies, survival brands, outdoor food companies, they all have obvious reasons to want to be next to a creator that millions of people already trust. Then there are affiliate links, merchandise, licensing, and the compounding value of that back catalog. We are not going to pretend we have a precise income figure, because we do not, and anyone who gives you a confident exact number is almost certainly guessing. What we can say is that channels of this size, in this niche, with this level of audience loyalty, can generate serious income across multiple revenue streams at the same time. Outdoor Boys was a real business, by any reasonable analysis, a valuable one. Here is what made it especially hard to replace. Drama channels need controversy to survive. News channels need breaking stories. Comedy channels need constant, fresh material that lands. Every one of those formats is always chasing the next thing, one bad week away from losing the crowd. Outdoor Boys did not work like that. Luke and his boys went outside, did genuinely cool things, and treated the audience with warmth and honesty for over a decade without burning the goodwill they built. Comment sections full of people saying things like, "This is the only channel my whole family watches together." Parents trusted it. Kids loved it. Casual viewers returned for the comfort of it. That is rare. That is almost absurdly rare online. The whole business was built on something that barely exists anymore: wholesome attention. And unlike almost every other format, you cannot manufacture it. You cannot hire it. You cannot pivot into it. Either you have it or you don't. Outdoor Boys had it. And then the channel exploded, not gradually, fast. In the roughly 18 months before Luke's farewell video, the channel gained around 12 million new subscribers. 12 million in a year and a half. He amassed 2.8 billion views on YouTube in that same period, and that is before accounting for stolen clips reposted on other platforms, which pushed total views even higher. That is the kind of growth that changes what your life actually looks like. More subscribers means more views. More views means more money. More money is great, obviously. But more subscribers also means more strangers who feel like they personally know your family. More people recognizing your kids in public. More comments, more messages, more attention you did not ask for and cannot simply turn off. For a creator whose content is built around his actual children, their actual faces, their actual voices, their actual lives, that attention is not abstract. It is people recognizing your kids at the grocery store. It is strangers having opinions about your parenting. It is your family's private life becoming public property. Slowly, then all at once. Luke called it overwhelming. That is the word he chose. He said very clearly that even good things can be taken too far. On May 17th, 2025, Luke Nichols posted a video called Goodbye. It got over 6 million views in the first 24 hours, because that is what happens when 15 million people suddenly realize something they love is ending. Luke was calm in the video, not dramatic, not bitter. He did not go after the platform, or the audience, or anyone. He just spoke honestly, the same way he always had. He said this would be his last video for a while. He reflected on 11 years and 1,110 videos. A former attorney who somehow became one of the most watched outdoor creators on the planet. He talked about his sons, Tom, Nate, and Jacob, all three of whom wanted to be YouTubers themselves. His oldest, Tom, already had his own channel, Outdoor Tom, with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Luke said he wanted to spend more time helping Tom, and in his own words, preparing him to be an adult. He said, "I've spent so much time focusing on me and my family and growing my business. It's time to step back and start focusing on other people for a change." He mentioned a batch of unfinished videos, homestead projects, extreme camping trips, travel adventures, and said he might drop them at the end of the year. He followed through. In November 2025, he came back briefly and posted 3 of those videos as promised, then stepped away again. And then there was the closing line, the one that landed differently than most YouTube goodbyes do. He said, "If you feel my videos have helped you in some way, then go out and find someone you can help." That is not a content creator signing off. That is a person with a value system, making a decision that reflects it. So here's the question the business side of this story keeps raising. A YouTube channel with around 15 million subscribers, a 1,000-video library, a loyal, family-safe audience, and a trusted brand in the outdoor niche. What is that actually worth? Honestly, it depends, and it's complicated. Channel valuations are not like stock prices. There is no clean number. The value depends on view stability, advertiser demand, audience demographics, sponsorship potential, and most critically, creator dependency. That last one is the key variable here. Viewers did not watch Outdoor Boys for outdoor content in general. They watched for Luke, for his sons, for the specific warmth of that particular family doing those particular things. That loyalty was not something you could transfer to a new host, or hand off to a production company, or franchise into a spin-off without losing the thing that made it work. Luke built something priceless. He also built something that was, in a very real sense, not separable from him. That is a strength and a limit at the same time. Maximum value while he was in it. Very hard to monetize without him. And that brings us to the bigger story, the one that goes well beyond Outdoor Boys. The creator economy sells a very appealing dream. Be your own boss. Work from wherever you want. Build something you love. Keep the upside. What the brochure leaves out is the other side. When you are the product, when your face, your voice, your family, your actual life is the content, the audience does not clock out. They're always there. The comments never stop. The algorithm never stops rewarding you for posting, which means every week you do not post is a week you are quietly losing ground. The audience becomes the boss, just a boss you cannot quit, cannot fire, and cannot really negotiate with. Luke figured that out, and he did something that a lot of creators talk about, but almost nobody actually does. He chose the life over the channel. Not because the channel was failing, not because the money ran out, not because he had no choice. He chose it at the peak, when walking away cost the most. That is genuinely harder than it sounds. There's a reason the goodbye video hit people the way it did. It was not just that a channel was ending. Channels end constantly, and nobody grieves them. It was that Outdoor Boys felt like something real, an actual family, doing actual things they actually loved. No manufactured drama, no artificial stakes, just a dad and his boys in Alaska, cooking food over a fire, laughing at things that were genuinely funny, somehow making millions of people feel like they were right there. That feeling cannot be manufactured. Most content tries to fake it and fails immediately. Luke's family just had it, naturally, for 11 years. When it ended, people grieved it the way you grieve the end of a show that actually mattered. Not because the entertainment was gone, but because something that felt genuinely real in a deeply fake internet world had quietly disappeared. So here is the money lore version of this story. Outdoor Boys was not just a camping channel. It was a media business with a back catalog worth years of continued views, a brand built on real credibility, and an audience that crossed every demographic advertisers actually wanted to reach. By the metrics of the creator economy, Luke Nichols built something extraordinary. But this story is not really about how much the channel was worth. It is about what it cost. It cost 11 years, 1,110 videos, countless nights editing footage and planning trips and managing a machine that never stopped wanting to grow. It cost his family's privacy, slowly at first, then all at once. And at some point, the math changed. Not the YouTube math, the personal math. The question became, what is a massive YouTube channel worth if the cost is your family's privacy? Luke's answer, delivered calmly in a 4-minute video on a Saturday in May, was not enough. He did not rage quit. He did not burn it down. He said goodbye graciously, encouraged his audience to go help someone the way he had tried to help them, and stepped back into his life. Most empires end because they overreached. Outdoor Boys ended because someone looked at the empire, looked at his family, and chose the family. That might be the strangest, most refreshing business story on the internet right now. Every fortune has a story. This one just happened to end with someone deciding the fortune was already enough.